those demons from your mind. My shoulders are here for your head to lean upon. No troubles can come between the shelter of these arms. Through the worst, through the best. Even when this world's feeling heavy on your chest. Through the fire, through the flood.
Ahead of you. I think that our hope should be that the words of Emerson, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. You've had some great experiences and you've known some wonderful people in your friends and in your teachers. Take all of that and use it as a foundation for whatever comes next. I know that all of you are capable of great things. To the parents and teachers here, thank you for all of your good work. And to the class of 2004, please accept my congratulations and those of the Bloomsburg Area School District on your graduation from high school. Good luck.
Counting down to for the past 366 plus days. And finally, there's a 0 on my calendar, rather than a 219. Though we've been impatiently ticking off the days, weeks, marking periods, summers and years, we've managed to accomplish much along the way. We're primarily the class of 2004, but that's not all. We're the defending champions of All Sports Day, the class of all state athletes, and the class, thankfully, not as academically competitive as the class of 2003. We're musicians, math and computer whizzes, FBLA state champs, and above all, we're friends. Not everything has been picture perfect, We fought for our dress code, we fought for our privilege to sit on the bench, and we fought for our flip-flops. But we have to realize that if those were our worst battles, then our lives have been pretty good so far. This afternoon, Marisa, Alicia, and I wanted to speak of awe-inspiring themes and pressing world issues we'll be facing in the near future, of new beginnings and our fondest memories. But instead of that, we decided on sharing the insights and wisdom of a most renowned PhD, Dr. Seuss, and his book, Did I Ever Tell You How Lucky You Are? In this short novel, Seuss tells the story of a young Seuster who thinks his life is awful, but is calmly reminded through rhyming examples that it can't be all that bad. All right, is everybody settled in? Now, no talking, or you'll be sitting on the curb at recess today. When I was quite young and quite small for my size, I met an old man in the desert of Dries, and he sang me a song I will never forget. At least, well, I haven't forgotten it yet. He sat in a terribly prickly place, but he sang with a sunny, sweet smile on his face. When you think things are bad, when you feel sour and blue, when you start to get mad, you should do what I do. You should tell yourself, Ducky, you're really quite lucky. Some people are much more, oh, ever so much more, oh, muchly much, much more unlucky than you. And so the old man begins, as our parents and teachers have for so long now, with experience, love, and sincerity. You can almost hear, when I was your age, I walked to school uphill both ways in 5 feet of snow every day. And if I wanted to brush my teeth, I had to go get water from the rain barrel just to rinse. But just like those famous parent-grandparent lines, we have to figure out just who this story is for. For us, at 18, we face some particularly hard issues. The war in Iraq, an upcoming presidential election, terrorist threats, $2 gas, and the FCC regulations post Janet Jackson's costume malfunction. With all of these problems to face, we have to maximize the weapons we possess that will make our battles easier to win. As a class, we are armed with optimism, some guys who can wrestle, courage, short-term memories, which we really should call pre-Alzheimer's, determination, wit, some helpful Mr. Steinruckisms, like the question, why did the chicken cross the Mobius strip? To get to the same side. And I have my oboe, Alice. But the most useful weapon we all possess is our English binders. We can analyze the FCC by the feminist method, talk circles around the president, render gas station clerks unconscious by hitting them over the head with 8 inches of notes and then drive away without paying a cent. And in the event of a terrorist attack and the absence of thick concrete walls, use them as protection from nuclear radiation. We can't do anything, however, without seriously considering the advice of those around us. Advice such as, don't eat the tuna, be polite to those who control your grades, and don't take candy from strange men standing at the corner, should always stick in the back of our minds. So, what about us? What do we do now? Well, we go out and work to change the world, have fun while we do it, make sure we can get Social Security when we retire, and always live our dreams. Every so often, we can check in with each other, you know, just to make sure we're on the right track. No doubt when we meet again, I'll have stories to tell. Maybe I'll be curing cancer or blowing up chemicals in a lab. Maybe I'll be playing in an orchestra somewhere in France. But ask me now, and I'll tell you how loving and supportive my mama and papa have been, and the latest joke from my little brothers, James and Tim. You could hear about my most recent goofy adventure with Rita or Stacy, the conversations from the Delta Pi group at lunch, or the times I faced the low brass section of the band trying to guard my last bag of Starbursts. I have countless stories of my life at BHS, and all of you are near and dear to my heart. But when you laugh at the stories about my oboe catastrophes, just know that Alice forgives you.
I always felt like the most unlucky person ever, as my brother puts it. My grandma asked me one day, "Why do you think you're unlucky, Alicia?" At that moment, I couldn't put my answer into words. As many of us do, I always see the flaws in myself or remember the unfortunate happenings in my life. This year has been really hard on me and my family with losing 2 loved ones who would have been here this afternoon with proud smiles on their faces. I know they're watching us, even though they aren't in this room. After this unhappy year, I couldn't think of any reason why I was lucky. Until Dr. Seuss gave me a little more perspective on what it really is like to be unlucky. The good doctor writes, "It's a troublesome world. All the people who are in it are troubled with troubles almost every minute. You ought to be thankful a whole heaping lot. For the places and people, you're lucky, you're not." We each experienced a sense of a troubled world when we became permanent witnesses to the events of 9/11. We sat in school, our eyes fixed upon televisions, unable to believe the reality of the events. Since then, terrorism has become a sad way of life in the greatest country in the world, a country based on protecting the rights of each individual. And now, like many before us, our generation is unfortunate to live in a time of war, with former classmates fighting for us to guarantee our freedoms. When you think your life is unlucky, think of the lives of our soldiers. Over Memorial Day weekend, I traveled to Washington, D.C. and made a special stop at Arlington National Cemetery. Walking through the large field lined with white stones, I stopped occasionally to read the names of those who served and in what wars they had served. I passed some who were buried less than a month ago, who were only 20 years old. Their gravestones read, "Operation Iraqi Freedom." Until that moment, I didn't completely understand the sacrifice our soldiers make every day for each one of us. When we don't appreciate what we have, we should remember Harry, a character in Dr. Seuss's book. And oh, just suppose you were poor Harry Hadow. Try as he will, he can't make any shadow. We can't take the simple things for granted. Think back to when you were children. We would find our shadows. We would chase our shadows and try to step on them or jump on them or try to make them disappear. Back when we didn't understand exactly how shadows appeared or how they moved, we were fascinated at their simplicity. I have had the same opportunity to witness the innocence and fascination every day with my children in my 3 internships. And although working with children in preschool and 1st grade and 8th grade band is not usually a life-threatening job, we can find many ways to contribute to the process of our economy and the nation, regardless of where we begin. Dr. Seuss writes, "Think they work you too hard? Think of poor Ali Sard. He has to mow grass in his uncle's backyard, and it's quick-growing grass, and it grows as he mows it. The faster he mows it, the faster he grows it. And all that his stingy old uncle will pay for shoving that mower around in the hay is a piffless pay of 2 ducats a day, and Ali can't live on such piffless pay." As graduating seniors, we have all had some experiences in the working world. Some of us wake up before the sun and carry bundles of papers to neighborhood houses, rain or shine. Some of us don't leave work until after the sun goes down because we have to close up at a fast food place like McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, or Mays. And many of the rest of us work the hours of the sun by stocking shelves, waitressing, answering phones, helping customers, lifeguarding, or looking after children. Yet, no matter what our part-time jobs happen to be, we can find something to complain about, whether it be bosses, other employees, customers, hours, too early or too late, or pay, too little, even though we never seem to complain about too much. Maybe the next time we begin to utter a complaint, we should remember that we are lucky to have jobs as high school students, and that these are the stepping stones to a future career that we will love and hopefully not have to complain about too much. But as we put childhood behind us, today we venture into a world of adulthood. But to become the best adults, we must keep with us the fascination and excitement all life holds for us. Some of us may still not feel or consider ourselves to be lucky, but we are. We are lucky to be graduating and moving on. We are lucky to have grown up in this most amazing town, but most of all, we are lucky to be here now. In this filled auditorium, we, the class of 2004, are indeed lucky. We are lucky for our friends sitting next to us. We are lucky for our teachers who put up with all our complaining. And we are most lucky for our families who have always encouraged us to finish another homework assignment, to study another 10 minutes, or to fill out another scholarship form. We sometimes forget to tell you how much we love you for what you have done for us. But today, accept my words for the entire class. Thank you. We do love you so much. So, Grandma, about your question, now I have the answer. I am not unlucky. I have your luck. Each of us graduating today is lucky to have people like you. Speaking for the class of 2004, thank you to everyone who has helped us.
as prescribed by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Bloomsburg Area Board of Education. They are recommended for presentation of diplomas at this time. Marisa Rose Gregory. Alicia Jane Berger.
Gonna go away.